You know, it's not just the turnaround time, it's the ability for us to serve some of the neediest people in our community. And that's why I'm on the board of the Public Housing Authority. Because we have a crisis in Hawaii, and it's the affordability for you folks even to have homes, for our people to be able to have a roof over their head, sleep at night with a stomach that's full, and a mother that's safe. There was a man who was born in 1923, very, very poor in Wailuku, Maui. He never ever thought that he would be able to get a higher education. He graduated from Kamehameha schools in 1941, deemed non-college material, because the resources to get a secondary education were so few. So he went to go work for the telephone company at 17 years of age, and at that time he started to experience what he called labor injustices. 6 months after graduating from high school, bombs are dropped in Pearl Harbor. And because of that, all these 17, 18, 19-year-olds get swept up in the war. Thank heavens that war ended after 4 years, so that some folks could come home that others could not. And the most remarkable thing that happened when they came home is now, because of that most terrible event on December 7th, they were all college material. See, what changed was resource. What determined whether or not they were college material was that there were no resources, but because of that terrible event, now they could get an education. And so he got his degree in economics at the University of Hawaii, and then he and 13 men in 1949 started flying to Washington, D.C. to become attorneys, including Senator Inouye. And then in 1951, they all started coming home to be part of what's known in Hawaii's history as the Democratic Revolution. So my dad comes home. He forms his labor practice, his law practice based on labor because of what he experienced in 1941. And he starts to organize and help to formulate the foundations for benefits for private workers. 1959, statehood comes. We never had a statehood government before. Somebody has to organize it. And he's appointed Chief Attorney of the House of Representatives on December 15, 1959, responsible as one of the architects to establish our first state legislature. So he and his two partners craft about 300 pieces of legislation so that on January 15, 1960, Hawaii opens with our first state legislature. That year, the founder of the largest public labor union in Hawaii calls him, and he's asked for a meeting. He says, Alvin, can we meet, and can I bring a couple of senators? So the three of those men meet my father, and they say, can you help develop a retirement system for public workers like you did for the private workers? So my dad proceeds to draft the first employee retirement system in the United States for public workers. 2 years later, my mother's younger brother, Judge Walter Heen, calls my dad. He said, can we meet in 1962? And his request was, can you help develop a health and welfare benefits program for public workers like you did for the private workers? What today we know as EUTF. I share that with you because at one time there was nothing. There was TDI, there was wages and salaries. But it wasn't just him, there were a whole bunch of people, and I can tell you right now, there were people who did not want that to happen. But it wasn't about an organization, it was about the people. And through establishing organizations, we could take care of the people.